923-4639. This is a call-in show. And so get on the phone and give Michael a call. And speaking of Michael, good morning, sir.
Good
Thanks
morning.
for having you with us.
Thank you for having me.
What's new in the?
Well, I'm finally back. Was off for a few weeks. Had some work done on my hand.
Well, let's chat about that for a minute.
Let's chat about that.
What happened?
I actually was closing the back of a refrigerated truck. And what they like to call is an amputation of the first digit where the nail is off. So I had some plastic surgery done, and the surgeon did a good job and put my finger back together, and now I'm doing a little therapy where we're working on hand strength.
Oh, well, wonderful about the therapy. I'm sorry about your accident.
Well, these things happen.
Now, I understand, Michael, that because of that amputation, you can't handle food yet. Is that correct?
I'm working on my hand strength. They have me at what is called light duty. You know, I'm still in the kitchens and I'm with the chefs, and but I have to be careful of, because there's still healing going on the skin graft on my finger. So direct heat is not good for it right now. And just to get my hand strength back, I go to therapist twice a week, and we work on strengthening my hands. So that's more holding knives and picking up equipment and stuff like that.
That's not going to hamper your flexibility.
I don't think so. No, you know, the therapist thinks that I'll be back to almost 100% when everything's done, and the surgeon says that finger looks good. So, you know, I'm very optimistic and looking forward to getting 100% back in there.
We are happy for you that you are going to get back to 100%.
I appreciate it.
I bet that was a painful.
Actually, when it happened, it didn't hurt. I think the surgeon said you go into shock, but you know, there was 2 surgeries that had to happen. So, you know, they did a really good job on that, and we're just moving forward. Just like our dining service, we're moving forward. You know, we've. You know, during my absence, there were some movements made. Chef Rabina is now over at Fireside, and Chef Robert from Woodland Skies is over in the cafe, and Zainab we promoted to the executive chef of the Jefferson, and Shannon, who is a sous chef over in Fireside, is now over in Woodland. So, you know, we did some movement, promoted some people.
Personnel movements.
You know, Chef Nick left us about 2 months ago, and just, you know, to pursue other options. And you know, it's good when you have that bench strength, and I'm a very big proponent of promoting from within. So it's, you know, it's working out well. People are getting used to their new work environments, and I think it's going to be well. You know, we have a strong culinary team here. Chefs do a fantastic job. Sous chefs, all the line cooks and prep cooks, it's a great team, and they handle everything pretty well.
So although you were not in the dining areas over the weekend, Memorial Day, you get some verbal reports, everything went just great?
Yeah, I heard, you know, pretty much people liked, you know, anytime we do the buffets for the holidays, I think the residents really enjoy that. And especially, you know, with Memorial Day, there's more of a cookout theme. You know, hot dogs or chicken or hamburgers. I think they had coconut shrimp over at Jefferson. You know, the residents really like that. You know, it's always a time to give the staff also a chance to get out early to enjoy time with their family. So I think it's a win-win for everybody. It's really important.
It's a pleasant change to get into some like hamburgers and hot dogs, things like this.
You know, you'd be surprised. It's funny. We talk about the filet and the crab cakes and the salmon. But you put like meatloaf or fried chicken or hamburgers or hot dogs and anything, or coconut shrimp or fried shrimp, residents love that. You know, it's the comfort food, I think, that everybody remembers growing up. And, you know, when you think of Memorial Day, what do you think of? A picnic, a family cookout. What are you going to serve at that? Hot dogs,
we all have memories of picnics, don't we?
Oh, yeah. So, but things are moving well. Obviously, everybody knows about the new ice cream purveyor that we have, Jack and Jill.
This is a Ben and Jerry?
What Jack and Jill is a purveyor. The difference is Hershey's sold Hershey's ice cream. That's it. We are limited with the variety we could have. With Jack and Jill, we opened up a much larger variety, especially on like novelties and items such as Jack and Jill is a purveyor. They have Breyers, they have Haagen-Dazs, they have Turkey Hill, so they're the supplier. So when I say to people, it opens up much more variety that we can look at to put onto the menu. You know, it's you know, like I said, Hershey's, you were handcuffed into, this is our flavors, this is what we have, and this is all you can get. With Jack and Jill, it opens it up much more. So that was one of the main, that was the opportunity we saw with them.
Before we go any further, we do have a call.
Absolutely.
Hello, am I on? Oh, I am on. I have a question for you, Michael. So the other day, this is the first time I think a staff person has called, but I have a question. So can you explain to me the reason why steak and cheese was canceled in the Potomac Cafe? That is my favorite meal to go to at the Potomac Cafe. So I'm kind of curious as to the decision that was to, cancel that.
Okay. We did a lot of changes on the menu, adding on some items that residents were asking for and looking at some items that we would have to remove to make room for that. Now, is every decision or change we make the right one? We learn from the process. And we've heard from more than the caller about the steak and cheese, and this is something that we're going to look into and discuss for the future when we make menu, because the menus aren't written in stone. Obviously, we have changes with specials. We have changes up in the cafe. So, you hear from enough people and the residents, and we made a change that maybe wasn't the right one. We can always revisit it, and there's always an opportunity to add something on that residents miss.
923-4639. This is a call-in show. Michael is here to answer all your questions, so give us a buzz. We were talking about the ice cream and the Jack and Jill. Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Okay. As I understand it, Jack and Jill gives us a lot more flavors to choose from.
It's a variety.
Is this correct?
Yeah. We have and other options to look at. If there's a certain, like I said, they supply with Haagen-Dazs and they supply Breyers and Turkey Hill. So these are, and they also produce their own ice cream. So
we have another call.
Okay.
We'll pick this up.
No problem.
May we have
good morning. My question is it possible that we can hot dogs in the bistro?
Hot dogs in the bistro?
Hot dogs in the bistro. We can definitely look at that. We've done that. I think that was on the menu a couple years ago. And we are actually, in the near future, going to look at revamping the bistro menu.
That's an excellent question. This hot dog in the bistro. Maybe somebody like to have a little change of pace.
Why not? And we're looking at the menu, and obviously we'll keep on the fan favorites. We won't take away the forest mushroom soup, because I think everybody loves that. But there's some items, and we have reports that we can run, and in our system that tell us. We do it in all the dining rooms. Every venue, we can run reports that tell us what the top selling items are, what the bottom selling items are, and this helps with putting together when we revamp a menu. Obviously, we're not going to take off crab cakes. Obviously, we're not going to take off filet or salmon. But if we put an item on there that we thought the residents would like, and we find out after a week or two or a certain period of time that it's just not running, well, let's take that off and let's add something else in.
So you don't want to overburden your kitchen.
Absolutely
not. So if you add something, you try to take something away that is not so popular?
Right.
Is that the way it goes?
Give you an example. If we put something on that's a beef dish that's not selling, we'll replace it with another beef dish.
Oh, okay.
We also want to have parity in the kitchen. You don't want everything coming off of one station. you want to split up the stations where it's grill, saute, flat top, the pantry. You don't want 50% of your items coming off of one station. They'll just inundate it, and then we have the long ticket times, and it makes for difficult. When you look at a menu, you really want to take time out and look it over, and there's so many things you have to think about. The purchasing and where you're going to store the product, the production, the preparation, the plating. So there's a lot of things you want to take into consideration when you put these menus together.
This leads me to another question. How many cooks and chefs are in the kitchen one time?
During a
Hold on.
service?
We have a question coming in.
Okay.
Yes.
You're on.
I'm glad to see that the water bottles are off of the tables. I think that was a real germ passing on to different residents. And the new problem we have is the dessert table. The residents come up, and not all of them, but some of them, and pick up the dessert, look at it, smell it, and put it back down. And they do that maybe 5 or 6 times, and then select their dessert, which I've talked to our new dining director, Ali, I think is his name, and I've talked to Pearl, and I don't get very far there. And the other thing is we still have the very rare beef or lamb chops or sometimes the pork, and they just don't want to cook it at the Jefferson. If I ordered a petite filet, I sent it back twice. I wrote on the thing, no red, please cook it. And it came really red. All the people at the table said, that's not well done. And then, of course, I couldn't eat it. Another resident, she sent it back 3 times and then finally gave up. And I don't know why. And on Memorial Day, with the hamburgers, I said, I would like one, but I don't want it pink. I don't want any red in it. And she sort of opened, sort of poked them, about 5 of them, and finally found one that was just slightly pink. And I mean, I know how to cook, and you can cook steak, beef, and get it well done without, destroying it. And that's my comment. Thank you.
So we have a 2-part question, rare and picking up.
Well, I'll bring up the desserts. We have our, we have our manager operations meeting today, and I'll definitely bring that up, and we can discuss that and how to, better resolution, to fixing that problem. As far as the rare beef and the lamb chops, I'm going to meet over with the Jefferson team today, and I'll bring that up in discussion. And also, I always tell, the residents, if the lamb chops on the buffet look a little rare to you, just have them take them in the back and put them on the grill. They can do that. As far as the filet, I'll speak with Zanab, the chef over there, and we'll talk about, making sure that they're cooking it to the proper doneness that the residents orders. I apologize for that, but it'll definitely be something that we'll talk about today.
Well, I'm sure that the caller is pleased with your response, and I'm sure that you will also follow up on this.
Yeah, I'll absolutely go in there. We'll talk about, making sure that at least some of the, if we're doing, lamb or any kind of protein, meat, pork, that we make sure that we have some of it that's cooked. I always say medium well, and then if someone asks for well done, we can take it in the back, put it on the grill, and continue cooking it there.
923-4639. It's a call-in show.
It is.
We were talking. I asked you the question, Michael, about how many cooks and or chefs are in the kitchen at one time.
So each kitchen has an executive chef, and either one sous chef or 2 sous chefs, and then you have line cooks and prep cooks, including utility. You can walk into, say, Fireside Kitchen, and you'll have how many people during the shift? You have 10 people.
Oh, really?
12
That
people.
many?
Well, you figure in a Fireside Kitchen, you're going to have, you
Yeah,
know,
you have two
you have two
areas to
venues.
serve, yeah.
If you walk into Woodland, you'll probably have 7 or 8 with the chef. Excuse me. It's a big process, and that's one of the things I'm glad you brought that up. We asked the residents, go take a look in the kitchen. It's your kitchen. You know, go, and you can go during service. Let's say you're waiting for your table. Ask a manager if it's all right, if they can walk in. And I've told residents this, go in during service, because that's when you're really going to get a true understanding of what's going on. You know, you walk in there, let's say you got done with your dinner, it's 5:30, 6 o'clock.
Yeah.
You want to take a peek in there? Now, only so many people can go in at one time, but I always tell residents, take a walk in there, look around, see what's involved. You'll be amazed at just the constant movement and all the different movements going on and everything involved.
I had a question on my mind, and it left me. Oh, on visiting the area, the kitchen. If Corey, for instance, if I ask Corey, can I just walk in by myself?
Well, we rather you talk
Be
to,
escorted.
excuse me, we rather you talk to the managers, because there are so many moving parts. There's
Yeah.
runners coming in and out,
Yeah.
that if you say, hey, can I take a look at the kitchen? Absolutely, and the managers will bring you in there, let you stand maybe off of where all the work is going on, but you'll get a clear view of everything going on, from the dishwashers working in the back, to the prep cooks, to the line cooks, to the expo. The screens are going to be up there. So you'll see everything. You'll see everything in action, food being prepared, plated, put on the tray, run out. You'll get the whole experience.
But you would prefer me, as an example, being escorted by one
I
of
would
the...
just, yeah, because the one thing, we look out for our residents' safety.
Exactly.
And you don't want a resident saying, you know what, I'm going to take a walk in there right now. And, you know, we want to make sure that it's safe, you know, that no one's coming in and out, because people are always on the move there. And the managers will be like, sure, let me bring you in there. And they'll show you, you know, they'll let you take a peek and stand there and watch for, you know, see what's going on. It's very, I recommend it.
Okay.
You know, we do kitchen tours, but I think this, you'll get a true understanding of the whole process and what is involved in bringing that meal to your table.
I think that's a great idea, Michael, and I'm sure that there will be people who will take advantage of that.
Absolutely. Some have already, and they're amazed. They tell other residents, you should do it. You'll get a true, you know, understanding of what goes on.
What goes on in the kitchen.
Right, and I think that you'll really appreciate the work that goes into preparing these meals, and the energy that's used, and the amount of employees needed to produce this. It's, you know, it's like almost like an orchestra. You know.
Our viewers, I'd like to pass on 703-923-4639. This is a call-in show, and Chef Michael is so in hopes that you will call. So give us a buzz on any subject having to do with the dining services.
We were talking out in the lobby, and I said, you know, people say, oh, I don't want to sound like I'm complaining. And I always tell people, I use the line, I don't know what I don't know. You know,
That's right.
If you don't tell me, how can we correct it or know about it? You know, some residents are like, oh, I don't want to make a big stink. I don't want to get this person in trouble. No one's going to get in trouble. If you're giving me information, the Jefferson information, or the steak and cheese, or putting a hot dog in the bistro, you know, if people are like, I don't want to bother them. Well, first of all, this is our job. You're not bothering anybody. And how are we going to make, you know, dining better if, we want input from the residents. I mean, it's all about the residents. I know it sounds corny, and I tell,
It
the
doesn't
team
sound
that,
corny, no.
that at the end of the day, it's all about resident satisfaction. Your service, the food that you eat, the quality of food.
Speaking of that, let's touch on the comment cards,
Okay.
because you led perfectly in.
Kind of open up the door, huh?
And I even to today I hear comments, they don't read those cards.
That is so far from the truth. I can tell you that, and I give kudos to Phyllis because she puts a lot of work, time,
Phyllis,
and energy. Phyllis down in dining admin. All the comment cards, the managers review them, and then they all come down to dining admin where there's a report that's generated, and it has every comment card on there. And if the resident puts their name, it has the date, the resident name, where they ate, and it'll tell you negative or positive, and it has the comments written right in there. It could be anything as, the positives are like great dinner tonight. Ate over in Jefferson, or it could be like I ordered my filet, well done, and it had to send it back twice. Okay, we want to hear this because this is how we get better. So yes, the comment cards are gathered up. They are scrutinized. We read them. There's a report generated with them, and this is sent out to all the managers and the chefs to review. And it helps them get better. Listen, they may run something that, I ordered the whatever, flounder Florentine, or I ordered the ham croquettes.
Yeah.
Not a big fan, and then you see a pattern. Okay, well, this item wasn't a big seller. Maybe we put something on the specials that, please put this on the menu, or this was great. That is a great communication tool to tell us how certain items are. How's our service? How's your experience?
We have another call coming in.
Absolutely.
Yes, I have a question. Sometimes I know we are supposed to get 2 sides, but sometimes I don't want the soup, the salad, the fruit, and would rather have 3 sides. Could I do that, or would that get too confusing?
To have 3 sides on their entree, I would just make sure that I would ask the server when ordering. Me personally, I don't see a problem with that, but this is something that I can bring up in our meeting today. If a resident's like, I don't want a soup, can I get an extra side of carrots on my plate?
But the menu says 2 sides. That's pretty much locked into concrete, isn't it?
Well, that's why this is something that we can discuss today with our team and then go forward and see, again, this is something that as a team we want to discuss. You don't want to make a knee-jerk decision and be like, okay, sure, go ahead, because then everybody's going to be changing up their meal courses and like, you know what? Chef Michael said I don't have to, that's what I don't want to see. I don't want to tell you, oh, sure, go ahead. It's something that we can discuss, we as a team, and see if this is something that we could offer, and then move forward with it.
My limited experience, I've never heard anybody at Woodland Skies say, I just want sides and I don't want any entree.
Well, no, I think they're saying no soup or salad. Can I get 3 sides with my entree? Now, we have residents who maybe they're vegan or vegetarian, and they're like, can I just get sides? Now, we've done that before as their entree. Instead of ordering fish, chicken, or beef, can I have 3 sides?
Okay.
They still have their soup and salad. Now, as to substitute a soup or salad for an extra side, something we can talk about. I'm not saying no. This is something that you want to discuss as a team and say, do we want to?
I have another call coming in.
Tell you what, they're coming in. I must have been missed.
Yeah.
Hello. I have a question about fiber content in the dinner menu. I would like to see, say, more foods, sides as well as soups with a higher fiber content. Looking at the present Woodland Skies sides, applesauce, asparagus, collard greens, cauliflower, beets. Don't see much fiber there. See, sweet potato fries probably have some, but otherwise no.
Okay. Well,
Thank you.
that's something that we can, when we generate the next menu, that we can definitely look at and maybe substituting one or two sides with sides that have higher fiber content, you know. And this just goes back to, you know, more information from the residents. What are you missing, or what would you like to see? And if it's something that, could we take off one of the sides, current sides, and put a high fiber one on? Sure, why not? You know, this is something that we'll look at when we put the next menu out.
So you're telling me and your viewers that, yes, you do welcome feedback.
Absolutely. You know, and walking down the halls, you see me in the dining room. We were talking earlier, some residents, they email me, they have my phone number. You know, I always say, just, you know, if you see me, stop me. You know, I tell people, you can't hurt my feelings. I've been married twice, you know? So I always tell people that. So, you know, I've been in this industry many, many, many years. And you have to, you know, rather if I'm working at a retirement home or in my past history working at one of the corporate restaurants, you know, you want to listen to your residents, your guests, because that's your bread and butter, you know? And that's why you're in the business. You know, part of it is you're there to please people and offer them, you know, an experience. And be it a dining experience here or a dining experience out at a restaurant. So you want to hear what the residents have to say. You know, can we substitute? We can look into it and see what side we can offer that has a higher fiber content than the current ones, and if it's possible to put it on there and we can, you know, our purveyor supply and we can get it readily available, sure, it's something that we can do.
We have one more question.
Okay.
You're
Hello?
on. You're on.
We had dinner in Fireside last night, and the menu, I believe, said that there would be a fruit plate, and we had a choice of either cottage cheese or yogurt, and I did choose cottage cheese. And when my salad or fruit salad arrived, I had a cup of fruit and a little black plastic condiment dish with a little bit of cottage cheese in it. I thought the presentation could have been a little
Michael.
little better, shall I say?
Answer.
So I just wanted to mention that.
Well, I truly appreciate that, and that's something that, you know, it seems like a quick fix, that we can just look at the presentation.
Okay.
I don't think there was a problem with the actual product itself, just a presentation. So that's something I'll definitely bring up at the meeting today. That
This meeting is going to be a very important
yes, it
one.
is.
Michael, I wish we had another half an hour to
It
go,
would have been nice.
but it's been just absolutely wonderful that you came here to begin with.
I appreciate the time.
Secondly, you've answered every question, I think, just the way it should have been answered.
Thank you so much.
And thirdly, I thank you for appearing on the show this morning. You've been full of good information.
Well, thank you.
And I want to thank our viewers for watching and also for calling in. Now, I do have some announcements that I'd like to pass on.